I'm Austin, and today I want to talk about Tactical Breach Wizards. It's a game that is exactly what it says, and I appreciate that. Tactical? You bet. Breaches? You know it. Wizards? Plenty of them. It's a title that either speaks to you, or you're boring and we can't be friends. Like the title, the game itself is fun and full of charm. I really enjoyed my time with these characters, even more than the gameplay, which was still good itself. It's just, these characters are so well written. But to be fair, I also don't have a whole lot of experience with this form of gameplay, so I can't speak on the quality too much, other than even with my inexperience, I still had a ton of fun with it. So why did I play Tactical Breach Wizards, even though I don't have a lot of experience with this genre? Because it's called Tactical Breach Wizards. Its premise called to me. Hence why I'm making this video. So I can convince you, even if you're not experienced with the genre, to give it a try. Hold on to your broom and let's start with the gameplay. It is a video game after all. That's probably a good place to start. Tactical Breach Wizard is the perfect game for those looking to get into top-down strategy games. It isn't very difficult, but offers plenty of options without feeling overwhelming. It is a tight game that doesn't have any bloat. It is here to tell a story with a fun cast of characters and give you entertaining strategy gameplay. Veterans of the genre may find it a bit too simple, but those learning will appreciate that it never throws too much at the player. Allow me to really learn the style of game without worrying about time limits, casualties, resource gathering, or base building. I can understand why some might find the simplicity disappointing, but I really appreciated it. Remember, I'm coming at this with somebody with very limited experience in the genre. This is a great game for somebody who's interested in learning the genre, but is a little put off by the more beefier games like XCOM that just have a lot thrown at you. It's like if somebody is just getting into RPGs. I would not suggest somebody's first RPG be Baldur's Gate 3. That's not because it's a bad game. Far from it. It's a fantastic game. It's just so beefy and meaty, it can be very confusing and overwhelming if you're not familiar with the genre. So a game like Tactical Breach Wizard is very much appreciated. And that isn't to say it lacks content. You have optional objectives you can use to build confidence for the cast of characters, which you can spend to unlock new outfits. These vary in difficulty, but offer a nice challenge for those looking to complete the game. I think I would have liked to see a few more unique costumes here to really encourage me to do these optional objectives. A lot of them are just color swaps, which isn't bad, but it is a tad on the boring side. I'm pretty big on unlockable cosmetics. I want brooms. I want different hats. Let me accessorize. There are also dream missions where you can do unique encounters to further build confidence, or a mode where you have to survive for a number of rounds. There's plenty of game here to satisfy. I wasn't disappointed with the amount of content at all. These dream missions offer more unique scenarios, such as having a squad of the same character, something you don't really get in the main campaign. It serves as a nice way for more wild missions, and they're pretty fun overall. These are great optional content that I really recommend doing. At least a few of them. They're pretty fun and they get used to everything the game has to offer. You can learn the characters and really hone your tactics and what you prefer to do with each scenario. The game itself involves breaching different areas with your wizard team and taking people out, mostly through windows. There's a lot of tossing people out windows. Rude. Windows have feelings too. You will have to synergize the skills of your team in order to efficiently throw people out windows. You might use Doc to create a portal into a wall and then have another wizard toss them into it. It's an improvised window. Rude. Improvised windows have feelings too. Or you can set someone to watch and shoot the first enemy that wanders into his line of vision, and then you can toss an enemy into that line for an immediate takedown. Each character has a variety of different skills, and learning how they all mesh is part of the fun. Analyzing the environment and figure out how to take out all the enemies and reinforcements as quickly as possible is really fun. It's a bit addicting. I was constantly getting faster and faster at completing these levels as I got more used to these abilities and understood how they interacted with each other. The game is all about balance. Enemies often have reinforcements they can stop by moving and dealing with the doors. The issue is that moving to the door may put you out of position to deal with the enemies, and you can't break up movement, so it's all about figuring out when best to seal up doors to prevent reinforcements, and dealing with the enemies currently trying to kill you. The game steadily gets more complicated by also throwing in turrets that you can destroy, or get to terminals so you can hack the turrets to turn them onto your side. The pacing here is solid. I never felt overwhelmed, but I felt like I was getting new abilities and characters at a solid pace where I could learn them, but before I got bored, I got something new to play with. It helps that you have the ability to rewind every action for an entire turn as much as you like. Don't worry about making mistakes. This really encouraged me to get creative and try things just to see what would happen. It really helped my creativity. The gameplay is solid here, but what kept me hooked were the characters. I absolutely adore them. I couldn't wait for the next cutscene where they get to hang out. From a private investigator who's running out of jobs, to a doctor that shoots her patient in the head to heal them, the cast is phenomenal, the writing is fantastic. It feels like every encounter with these wizards left me smiling, if not full out laughing. Do have some dialogue choices, but those are mostly for show. This isn't a branching story or anything. So don't worry about the choices, just pick whatever you think is funny or appropriate for the situation. You can't really go wrong, they're all pretty good. I almost want a Persona-style style content with these characters. I would love to hang out with them even more outside of missions, which is always a good thing. There are some side optional conversations, but I want even more. The gameplay is fun, but I definitely kept playing for the characters. The writing is that good, and it is consistently funny, something you don't see all that often in video games. Comedy is hard, and especially hard for video games for whatever reason. Just look at Borderlands 3, a game that should only be played with the voices muted. Or just look at any joke I make. To go with these characters and their interactions is a story. It's entertaining. It isn't anything groundbreaking. You run into an old friend who is hunting down an old teammate he thought was dead but is now back and doing evil things. You meet more characters along the way, and you have a cat. So it's a 10 out of 10. It isn't revolutionary, but it's well told, and I can't emphasize how much I like these characters. It's more than enough to keep me engaged in what's happening. It's just fun. Sometimes a story is just fun, and I just don't need it to be more than that. Speaking of characters, I think the more minimalist art style does a good job of bringing these characters to life. It reminds me of a much more clean RuneScape. Characters have strong features, but are low detailed overall, such as lacking defined faces. This could have made the characters blend together, but I think it accentuates their differences. In clothing, hair color, and style, they stick out. I kinda like it. Some of us appreciate a good low detail model. I personally would just look so much better in this world. It really just goes to show how important art style and character design is. These people pop, unlike in another game that I'm not going to bully because it's just sad at this point. I hope the best for those who worked on Concord. I've never seen anything like this before. I truly don't know what to think. It's scary. I've really enjoyed playing all these games that don't focus on realism. It really makes them stand out to me, and none of them have looked the same. I would love to see AAA studios start taking lessons from these games. You don't need to spend all this money on fancy graphics. Tactical Breach Wizards offers a wonderful experience for those new and familiar with strategy games. The gameplay is solid and fun, but the characters are the main selling point here. They are absolutely hilarious. I was excited for every conversation. I don't mean this to sound like an insult, because I do like the levels, but it was really the conversations that kept me playing the entire game. I was just so excited to see what happened next, what the next conversation was going to be. I can't stress enough how good the writing is. It's just fun. It's the most important thing in a video game for me. I need to have fun. So you should play Tactical Breach Wizards. I really appreciated getting my feet wet in the genre, and it's really encouraged me to explore more games like it. I would love to try XCOM 1 and 2 and Marvel Midnight Suns in particular. So even if you aren't familiar with this genre, this is a really good starting point. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe. Leave a comment letting me know some of your favorite strategy games. I'd love to try some of them out sometime and learn more about this genre. I really enjoyed my time here. Goodbye and have a great day.